Computer software. Hardware refers to the physical equipments reading and processing data, storing results, and providing output to the users in a desired form. Software is popularly referred as the soul of the computer system, while the hardware as the heart. Software interface between hardware and software. Hardware and users. Types of computer software. The first task is to control and coordinate the hardware components and manage their performance. Second one is to enable the users to accomplish their required task. So the software is used to achieve the first task is known as system software, to control and coordinate the hardware components and manage their performance. And the second one is enable the users accomplish their required task. So second task is known as application software. So system software, it is of two types: system management program and system development program. System management program managing both the hardware and software systems. System development programs used for developing and executing application software. Application software. Application software: standard application programs, unique application programs. Standard application programs designed for performing common application jobs. Unique application programs developed by users themselves to support their specific needs. Unique application program developed by the users themselves to support their specific needs. And the standards performing common application jobs. These are the application software. Because second one is enable the users to accomplish their required task. So second is application program. The first standard for performing common application jobs, and second unique is for developed by users for their specific task, specific needs. Computer software is of two types: system software and application software. And system software also have two types: system management programs and system development programs. Application software also of two types: standard application programs, unique application programs. Unique application programs is developed by the users, and system management programs manage hardware and software. System management program. System management operating the hardware system and managing their resources effectively. System management programs consists of the device drivers, utility programs, and operating system. Operating system, utility programs, and device drivers. Operating system. Overall management of computer resources, the interface between the computer and the user, and helps in implementing the application programs. So OS is interface between the computer and the user and helps in implementing the application programs. So major function of operating system. Operating system also manages the computer resources and also work as interface. Not work as, it provides the interface between the between the computer and the user. And the major functions of operating system are scheduling and execution of all processes, allocation and management of main memory and other storage areas to the programs, creation, storage, and manipulation of files required by various processes. Creation, storage, and manipulation of files required by the various processes. मीन्स ये क्रिएट भी करता है, स्टोर भी करता है एंड मैनिपुलेट भी करता है फाइल्स को रिक्वायर्ड बाय द वेरियस प्रोसेस. ओके. द डिटरमाइनिंग एंड मेंटेनिंग द ऑर्डर ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ प्रोग्राम्स, coordination and assignment of other development and utility programs. MS-DOS. This is the popular operating system. MS-DOS. OS लास्ट में है, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. ओके. यूटिलिटी प्रोग्राम, सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर. It is additional capabilities to the computer system. Utility program is not an essential part of an operating system. A utility program only provides the additional features to the computer system for search and replace, print, disk defragmenter, system profiler, encryption, virus scanner, backup, data recovery. These are the additional capabilities or additional features. Search and replace, print, disk defragmenter, system profiler, encryption, virus scanner, backup, data recovery. So, 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 Disk defragmenter. Defragmentation is the process of storing the data at a single place in the memory instead of disjoint memory locations. System profiler. List of hardware components which are presently connected with the computer system. It is the list of hardware components which are presently connected with the computer system. Utility programs are pre-written in manufacturers. Pre-written by manufacturers. Device driver. Device driver acts as translator between input-output devices and the computer. Translator है, okay, between the input-output devices, which is also known as peripheral devices, and the computer. System development programs. System development programs known as program software. Okay, system development programs, programming software. Debugging the program. The following tasks. Debugging the program, linking the various variables and objects with the libraries files, translating the code from one language to another, running the machine code to perform the desired task. Running the machine code to perform the desired task. System development programs. Debugging the program, linking the various variables and objects with the library's files, translating the code from one language to another. These are system development programs. Language translators. So, high level language to low level language, from high to low compiler, assembly to low assembler, high to low इंटरप्रेटर, लाइन बाय लाइन प्रोसेसिंग होती है इंटरप्रेटर में. ओके. लैंग्वेज ट्रांसलेटर कन्वर्ट्स द हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज प्रोग्राम इनटू लो लेवल लैंग्वेज प्रोग्राम कॉल्ड ऑब्जेक्ट कोड. Compiler translates a high-level program into a low-level program. High to low compiler. Assembler, assembly to low assembler. मीन्स आप लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में ही कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं. हाई से लो में जा रहे हैं कंपाइलर, एंड असेंबली से लो. ओके. एंड इंटरप्रेटर प्रोसेसेस द हाई लेवल प्रोग्राम्स line by line and simultaneously produces the low level programs. Line by line interpreter. Okay. Linker assembles the various objects generated by the compiler. Compiler translates the high level language into low level language, and linker assembles the various objects generated by the compiler. Machine bugs. Okay. Debug object code and object debug original code. Okay. Debuggers detect the errors and bugs present in the program. detecting the errors and bugs in the program. Debugger locates the position of the error in the program code with the help of what is known as instruction set simulator ISS technique, instruction set simulator technique. Through this technique, the debuggers locates the position of the error in the program code. Machine level debugger and symbolic debugger. Two types of debuggers are there. Machine level debugger, symbolic debuggers. Machine level debugger debugs the object code while symbolic debugger debugs the original code. So machine level connected to object code and symbolic is connected to original. Okay, symbolic में O consists symbolic. Okay, so original from this O to O and machine the remaining ones. Okay, original and object both have O. Okay. L symbolic consists L and original also consists L, while machine does not consist L and object also not consists L. So L by this mnemonics. So linker, what linker do? It takes from the object codes and make it executable programs. And it was debuggers. What? Inserting the breakpoints in the original code, tracking the value of specific variables. It will be symbolic debuggers. Inserting breakpoints in the original code and tracking the value of the specific variables. And in order to debug the program, a debugger helps us to perform the following tasks: step-by-step execution of a program, backtracking for checking the previous steps, stopping the execution of the program until the errors are corrected. Step-by-step execution of a program, backtracking for checking the previous steps, stopping the execution of program until the errors are corrected. Editors work with text in the computer system. Allows the user to work with text in the computer system on the basis of content edited by editors. There are divided into following categories. Editors are divided into following categories: text editor, digital audio editor, graphics editor, binary file editor, HTML editor. Text editor edit the plain text. Digital audio editor edit the information related to audio components. Graphics editor edit the information related to the graphical object. Binary file editor edit the digital data or binary data, that is data having the strings of zeros and ones. HTML editor edit the information including in web pages. Source code editor edit the source code of a program written in a programming language such as C, C++ and Java. Standard application program. There are examples of standard application programs include word processor, spreadsheet, database manager, desktop publisher, web browser. Operating system. The popular operating system MS-DOS, Unix, Windows, and the providing user interface, graphical user interface, command line interface. So batch processing operating, मतलब types of operating, security management, security methods. Introduction. Operating system is a software that makes the computer hardware to work. Operating system is main component of system software. And device driver भी होते हैं. So, operating system, device driver and utility programs. Hmm? Mhm. And the main functions of operating system include operate CPU of the computer, control input output devices that provides the interface between the user and the computer, handles the working of application programs with the hardware and other software systems. It manages the storage and retrieval of information using storage devices such as disks. So it operates CPU of the computer, control input output devices. These are peripheral devices as well that provide the interface between the user and the computer. Means it controls the peripheral devices and handles the working of application programs with the hardware and other software systems. Manages the storage and retrieval of information using storage devices such as disks. Operating system, it operates the CPU, it manages the files and directories, and it handles the programs. Operating system also controls peripheral devices, which is input output devices. So some popular operating system: MS-DOS, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows Server 2003, Unix and Linux. MS-DOS, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows Server 2003, Unix and Linux. History of the operating system: assembly language was used to develop programs that could directly interact with the hardware. Various batch processing operating systems such as BKY, CAL, and Chios were developed during this period. Okay, performing only a single task at a time. The operating system developed during this period. Okay, means 1950 के around जो developed हुए operating system. Those were capable of performing only a single task at a time. And during 1960, multitasking operating systems were developed. After 10 years, in 1950, only single tasking, and in 1960, multitasking. Operating systems used the concept of spooling and time sharing model for achieving the multitasking functionality. Operating system used the concept of spooling and time sharing model for achieving the multitasking functionality. Unix supported a multi-user environment and achieving the temporarily storing data. Core functionality of Unix resided in a kernel. Core functionality of Unix. DOS versus OS versus 1. OpenVMS. The key operating system in 1980s: MS-DOS, HPUX, Macintosh. MS-DOS was developed by Microsoft. Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows NT, FreeBSD, and OS given to Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows NT were graphic user interface based operating systems. Mac OS X, Windows 2000, Windows Server 2003, Windows ME, Windows XP are the 21st century's operating system. Functions of operating systems. Operating system, also called the resource manager of a computer system. Resource manager of computer system. Important functions of operating system is process management, memory management, file management. Operating system allows us to create, modify, save or delete file in a computer system. Device management, interact with the hardware devices through specific device drivers. Security management, authentication, authorization, cryptography, etc. for ensuring security of a computer system. Security management, device management, file management, memory management, process management. Device management interacts with hardware devices through specific device drivers. File management operating system allows us to create, modify, save or delete files in a computer system. Security management, authentication, authorization, cryptography, etc. for ensuring security of a computer system. So, functions of operating system: process management, memory management, file management, device management, security management, PMFDS, PMF, FMSDP, FMS, file, memory, security, DP, device process, FMSDP. Okay. Process management, creation of processes, scheduling of processes, management of deadlocks, and termination of processes. Computer system supports parallel processing, allowing a number of processes to be executed simultaneously. A process consists of a set of instructions to be executed called process code. Resources that a process requires for its execution are called process components. Some of these key concepts are process state, process control block, process operations, process scheduling, process synchronization, inter-process communication, deadlock. Condition of a process at a particular instant of time. Process state. It is the condition of a process at a particular instant of time. New process is created. New specifies seven states of process. New specifies the time when a process is created. Ready specifies the time when a process is loaded into the memory and is ready for execution. Waiting specifies the time when a process waits for allocation of CPU time. Executing process is being executed by the CPU. Blocked specifies time when a process is waiting for an event like input or output operation to complete. Suspended specifies the time when a process is ready for execution but has not been placed in ready queue by the operating system. Terminated specifies the time when a process is terminated and the resource being utilized by process are made free. So means new to ready, and from ready to waiting to executing, and there are three options after executing: either it will block or suspended and might be terminated. If it will block, then it will start from ready and thereafter waiting and executing. And if it will suspend, then it goes to ready and then waiting and then executing, and after executing terminated, it is terminated.